Let me share screen. Okay, so today we're going to talk about online forums. And it's interesting, I'm trying to always share things with the group, maybe things that you're not aware of or you're not really sure how to utilize. And because everything's digital in today's world, I thought it would be really good to show you how invaluable these online forums can be. It's a place you can connect with prospects, where you can share your knowledge, and you can tap into expertise that's already on the forums. So it's really hopefully going to be an eye-opener for you today and something for you to think about. So what are the forums? They're just digital platforms where people connect, and these are like-minded people. And remember that other trainings that I've done for you on generational marketing was where you can find like-minded people. And there's no better place really than these online forums. So today I thought we'd just really show you the best way to do this, and that's with using comic books as an example. So where do you start? So what I did is I just Googled comic book forums. I Google everything. So search for comic book forums on Google to find various online communities dedicated to comic book enthusiasts. And these forums are virtual meeting places where fans engage, they have discussions, they share their passions, and they connect with fellow collectors. And you're looking for that, right? So if you want to target the comic book collector, this is where you're going to find them. I know we've talked about Facebook and Instagram, but really these are forums, places online where people go to talk about whatever the hobby is. And in this case, it's comic books. There's different sections that allow discussions on specific series, characters, creators, and genres. And remember, if you go back to my magazine, it talks about the comic book eras. Again, I never knew about eras, and I'm sure a lot of people never knew about that either until they read the magazine. It also allows you to register for an account to fully participate in all the features and benefits that the forum has. Okay, but now it's like, now what do you do? Now that you've found a forum that you like, what do you do? So these are the steps that I want you to follow. Explore the forum platforms. Now, what this means is you want to visit the forum website to explore the features and the community guidelines. And you want to register for that forum to gain full access. You want to participate in discussions. Engage with members by joining discussions on topics of interest. And remember, you have to be authentic. These people know, if you're comic books, they're going to know what they're discussing. So you can't go in there and say something that totally has nothing to do with the discussion. They're going to know that you don't belong. You want to build connections. And again, if you're going to promote your business, you have to build trust and people have to get to know you. And that's how you do it on the forums, is you connect with fellow enthusiasts by exchanging ideas. And you want to follow different discussions and contribute to what the network is saying. You want to share your collections on here. So if you have, let's just say you've been ordering once a month the comic book selections from Collect Direct, you're going to be able to share your collections with people. And then maybe they'll ask you where you're buying your comic books, and you can share with them the business opportunity. You want to stay informed. Now, on these forums, they're going to keep you up to date on the subject matter. So if you're new to comic books and you want to learn about it, this is going to help you stay informed. It lets you know about new releases in comic books, maybe things that are going on with Comic-Con, different things like that. And you're going to be able to participate in upcoming events. And this is something like if you were going to have your own event, let's just say you're one of our big comic book collectors, and you were going to have an event in, let's say, Atlanta. You could put your event on this forum and invite anybody in the area or anybody that travels to come to this event that you're hosting. So I know a lot of you look at Facebook, for example, as a way to market the events that you're having. There's no better place than to find your audience and your tribe if you look at the forums. And you're going to be able to contribute to the community. And this is where you're going to share your insights, and it's going to help answer questions and give guidance. So again, think about this. And when we talk about planning out your social media strategy, let's just say that you want to look at the forum as being one of your social media strategies. Be really thoughtful. And we go back to that Canva that I showed you, the canva.com, that has a calendar. If you're going to do social media and you're going to look at adding forums to how you're going to market your business, please make sure that you're thoughtful when you're putting together your calendar, because this is a place that you're going to be able to get to the heart of the people that are in this business, whether they're collectors, they're reselling. This is what's going to help you do the most. Now, let's look at the best practices. And this is what you want to do for the best engagement. You want to encourage respectful communication and constructive feedback. Remember, these people know what they're talking about. And when we talk about respectful communication, you want to make sure that you're present, that you read everything, the thread, whatever the comments are being made. You want to be able to communicate and act like you know what you're talking about, even if you don't. And the best way to do it is to read through what that post is and what people are saying so that you understand it. Please don't spam, don't overpost. We talked about this again on social media. When's the best time of day and how many times a week should you post? I've seen people on social media where they'll post 3 or 4 times a day. It's too much. So you do not want to do that in a forum, because people will not like that are in the forum. And you want to use clear and descriptive titles for your post. Again, if you don't know what to do, there's AI out there that you can just ask an AI bot, whatever you're using, or you can Google it, right? If you need help, even if you have Canva can give you ideas. So that's what I want you to be aware of, is to make sure that they're clear and distinct. And you want to engage with existing discussions before you start new ones. So one thing that you don't want to do is, if somebody's talking about, I don't know, one of the comic books, and there was just a post about it, you don't want to just replicate that same thing. So, because then they're going to know you don't know what you're doing there, and they're not going to look at you as an authority. You want to follow the forum rules and guidelines. And every forum has guidelines. Just like when you're in a Facebook group, you can post rules of engagement, right? You can post rules that you want people to follow. They're very clear cut in what they want you to do and the guidelines they want you to follow. This is very serious, right? So if a forum is going to be one of the areas that you're going to delve into to build your collectibles business, you have to be very careful, and you have to make sure that you're reading all of the rules and the guidelines and you're following them. Now let's look at advanced forum features. You want to explore additional features such as private messaging, polls, or subforums. So it's not just a really cut and dry that there's a private message. There's polls that are out there, and polls are really good. We've talked about that with some of our social media. If you post a poll, then people are going to engage with you. And remember, anytime somebody engages with you, you have to respond to them. If you don't, then they're going to stop engaging with your posts. You want to utilize search functions to find specific topics or posts. So let's just say you're looking for, I don't know, Spider-Man. You can Google Spider-Man comics, and anything about Spider-Man will come up in that search engine. So that will help you too. If maybe one month you want to concentrate on Spider-Man comics, okay? And that's just an idea for you. But again, when you plan out your 30 days of social media and what you're going to do on the forums, be thoughtful when you plan that out. Customize your profile to reflect your interests and your preferences. So if you're going after comic books, again, make sure you put comic books, not Legos, because people are going to read about you. And if you start becoming more engaged, people are going to want to know more about who you are and what your background is. Subscribe to threads to receive notifications of new activity. And that's just like if you do on Facebook, for example. If you want to know when somebody's posting, you'll be alerted for this. So if you're really serious about using the forum to build your business, then you have to be totally engaged with that forum. Now let's talk about networking and collaboration opportunities. You want to seek opportunities for collaboration with other members on projects or initiatives. Again, maybe they're talking about trying to set up a local meet and greet in their community. And if they're not doing it, maybe that's an idea for you. So let's go back to Atlanta again. Say you live in Atlanta and you want to have something on a Saturday and you find a place that you can set up your comic books. You want to get the most people that are interested in what you're doing at that event. Again, you can always use the Facebook or Instagram, what you're doing. But if you go to the forums, that's where these people are hanging out. That's the audience that you're trying to attract. So just remember that you can go there and you can try to collaborate with other people in the Atlanta area, because a lot of these people are collecting comic books, but they have no idea that there's a home-based business, a category creator called Collect Direct. You have to educate them on that. And you want to connect with industry professionals or creators who may be active on the forum. So again, maybe there's somebody in your hometown that's being very active with comic books. He's buying, he's selling, maybe he has a local store. This is where you're going to find them. And you can actually drill down. Once you find the forum, you can drill down so much to find out who's there, where they're located, what they like, what they're posting. And you want to join or create groups within the forum to network with like-minded individuals. So again, I'm not going to tell you how to introduce network marketing or home-based business, but that's something that you can see what the trends are in this forum. You can read about what they're saying. Maybe they're talking about buying and selling and how to make money. If they're doing something like that, that's your in to explain, hey, I have a new opportunity that maybe you're interested in. Or maybe this is where you set up like a meeting over coffee or at a happy hour or something like that, that you can share your comic books. You can be really creative in these forums once you understand who's in the forum and what they're doing. Now let's talk about your tracking your progress. And we talked about this before. Remember with social media, we said, don't just throw stuff out there and not know what's working and what's not working. You want to monitor your engagement metrics and your post. You want to count how many people are liking you, and it's called reputation points. Now, if you don't know what that means, you have to understand what the forum is all about. And that's where Google is your friend, and you're going to Google all this information. You want to keep track of valuable insights or resources shared by others for future reference. Again, when you're planning out your social media and you're posting this stuff and you're tracking, because this is where you really have to track. If you're just going to throw stuff out on a forum and not track it, don't bother. I mean, really, don't bother. Don't bother with any of this stuff unless you're going to take it serious, because this is a business. And I always say, if you're going to treat your home-based business like a hobby, it's going to pay you like a hobby. But if you really plan out your 30-day calendar and you're doing forums and you plan all this out and you're tracking all of your posts and you're tracking what works, what doesn't work, and who's commenting, you can drill down. Maybe the people that are commenting could be a prospect for you. But if you're not paying attention to what they're doing and you're not tracking your post, you could miss an opportunity with a next superstar in the business. Okay, you also want to reflect on your contributions and interactions to identify areas for improvement. Don't think that you're going to jump on a forum and right off the bat, you're going to become an expert and everything's going to work great for you. It doesn't work like that. You want to see through the interactions if it's working. But remember, we talked before, if somebody posted about Spider-Man just a couple days ago, you don't want to take that same thought and repost it under your name. That's not going to get you very far with these people in the forums, because those people are in the forums. They're serious about what they're talking about. And you'll get that the more engaged you get with these forums. Building your reputation and influence. This is just like we talked about with social media. You have to build trust with people. And the way you're going to build trust is to build your reputation through the online forum that you're in. You want to consistently provide valuable contribution to establish yourself as a trusted member of the community. It all goes back to what we were talking about in the beginning. If you're going to be on this comic book forum, you really have to know your stuff. So again, I'll go back to the magazine that we did. There's a lot of really great information under that comic book section. It'll talk about distinct eras. Then, if you want to drill it down, go to Google. If you want to know something about something specific, research it through Google. Or if you have an AI that you're using, go to AI and ask them a question and then drill it down and drill it down and drill it down even more, because that's only going to help you become an authority. And if you're going to build a reputation and then build a business through these forums, people have to trust you and believe that you know what you're doing. You want to seek opportunities to showcase your expertise and knowledge through guides, tutorials, and discussions. Remember when we talk about building a community here at Collect Direct? Well, that's what you're doing here with tutorials or discussions or your polls that you're going to do. That's why everything we go back to a plan, putting a plan together, working your plan, and then executing your plan, and then tracking it. It's just like any other business that you really want to develop. If you have let's just say you have a new medication, you're a business, Pfizer, for example, you're going to have trials. You want to see what works, what doesn't work. Once you release some new medication, you're going to follow through that medication. You want to see what's working, what people have to say about it. That's important. No matter what business you're in, you need to track it. And forums, from everything I've researched about it, is an excellent way for anybody that's in Collect Direct to build their business. You want to engage with forum moderators or administrators to explore potential leadership roles or opportunities for recognition. One thing I don't advise you to do is tell them right away that you're a network marketing or a home-based business, because it's never been done before. We're a category creator. You want to tread lightly when you start with your forum. You want to build a reputation for somebody that knows the subject matter and that you're willing to share your knowledge, and then say, oh, by the way. And that's maybe after, and I don't know how long because I've never done forums, but maybe it takes you a couple months, maybe it takes you 6 months. But the more people see you, the more they read what you're doing, the more engaged they're going to become, which when you think about it, it's a pretty cool opportunity to share the Collect Direct, because nobody has this. What Dave has created, it's a one of a kind. It's a category creator. So if you're going to share comic books and you're going to tell them about this great $29.98 once a month and how you can build a business, you're not out there competing against anybody else, because there's nobody else doing what we're doing. So let's talk about examples of online and focus on collectibles. So there's comic book resources. And if you look at this, it's called community.cbr.com. And this is an online forum where comic book enthusiasts can engage in discussions, share opinions, and connect with others who share their passions for comic books. Collectors Weekly, collectorsweekly.com. It's a platform where collectors can discuss a wide range of categories, including antiques, vintage items, collectibles. So if you look at Collectors Weekly, if you research exactly what you're looking for, there'll be a forum within that. Here's one, the Vintage Toy Forum, vintagetoysforum.com. This is a community dedicated to vintage toys, action figures, and collectible memorabilia from various eras and franchises. Now, before you go down this route, make sure you go to Collect Direct and research what we have under toys. You'll find that we have action figures, we have vintage toys, we have toys from every different era. And that's exactly what this forum is all about. Sports Cards Forum, that's a great one for us. It's a forum for sports card collectors to discuss trading, buying, selling, and collecting sports cards from different sports leagues and eras. Can you imagine introducing Collect Direct on this forum? You're going to build your reputation. You're going to follow all the things that I told you to follow. You're going to track what people are looking at. And then you're going to have an opportunity that nobody has. You're going to be able to introduce them to Collect Direct. Coin Community, coincommunity.com. This is a forum for coin collectors to share knowledge, ask questions, and connect with fellow enthusiasts about coins from around the world. You know, it's interesting. I went to a card show maybe 6 months ago, and I took pictures and sent them to Dave. And I said, look, there's a guy here selling coins. And it was a baseball, mostly of sports cards, show that they were doing. But I was surprised when I met this guy and how many coins he had. And he said he's always at all the sports cards shows. He said, because if you're a collector, you're also a collector of coins. And I was surprised to hear that. But there were a lot of people that went up to that coin that he was the only guy there. They had a table. He was the only guy there that was selling coins. And here it was. They were all sports memorabilia except one coin guy. Lego collectors. Lego collectors community. And the site is bricksetforum.com. And it's a forum for Lego enthusiasts and collectors to discuss Lego sets, themes, minifigures, and building techniques. I don't know anything. I don't have kids. I don't know Legos. I mean, building blocks is what I know. Who would have thought that there's forums for people that are really into this Lego stuff? I talked to Dave about that. Dave's like, oh my God, Legos are amazing. And all these little kids, they build things and there's a collectors out there just for Legos. So maybe you want to go the Lego route. If you do, you're going to Google Lego forums, and maybe this is one that's going to pop up. Doll Reference Forum. dollreference.com/dollcollectingforum.html. So this is a forum for doll collectors to share information, identify dolls, and discuss topics related to vintage and modern dolls. Think about that. When that movie Barbie came out, I know Dave got a lot of people ordering Barbies, but people that collect dolls, it's not maybe just Barbies that they're collecting. They may be looking for dolls from the 40s, the 50s, the 60s. If you go to this forum, if you want to specialize in dolls, this is where you're going to go. It's amazing to me when I started researching for this, because I thought, I want to teach something that the average person in Collectorect would never think about. So when I found the forums, I thought, I don't know anything about forums. And I think I know a lot about social media and how to get attraction marketing out there. But forums is something I knew nothing about. So I thought, well, if I don't know anything about it, let me take some time on Saturday and explain to people what a forum is, how to find it, and just give you guys a little bit of expertise to help you. And I really want you to expand your perception on how you can build your collectibles business. Because right now, everybody that's in Collectorect is wondering, okay, I'm buying every month. I want to build my business. I want to build my team. I'm on Facebook. It's not working so much for me. Maybe I should try Instagram. Maybe you're not really putting enough thought into what you're doing. But now if you look at forums, this is a place that they're sitting, reading about. All those examples I gave you about comic books, that's just one area that we're in. Maybe you want to look at baseball cards, not just sports memorabilia, but if you drill it down, you can find that. Or maybe you want to, I'm a Pittsburgh Pirate fan, so maybe I want to look at a forum for Pittsburgh Pirates. Maybe there's a forum out there for that. So I'm specifically talking to people with the team that I love. So this is something, just think about it. Take some time, whether you're working this weekend or maybe next week, and just use Google and go through it and decide, do I want to look at building my business on a forum? And maybe it's something that you're going to start and you'll work for 6 months and you don't like it. But from everything I've read about forums, the people that really get involved in this really get involved. Like they're just not hanging out once or twice a month. They're on that comic book forum. They want to see what's going on. They want to go to the local events. So that's why I recommended, why not look at doing a local event? Even if it's just you and your comic books, and you find some place, maybe a library, maybe there's a coffee shop, maybe Starbucks you can use, maybe there's a local restaurant that has a back room. Maybe you can connect in your hometown with 2 or 3 other like-minded individuals that want to build their collectibles business. Maybe you haven't even shared with them yet what you're doing as a home-based business. There's so many different strategies. And we talk about strategies. It's not just throwing something against the wall and hoping that it sticks. It's being thoughtful and putting together a 30-day plan, and then working the plan and making sure that everything that you're doing works. And that's the end of today's training. So I hope you all learned something. We'll post this on the Facebook page. Again, it's something that I'm sure a lot of you haven't even thought about. But when I did the research, I thought, wow, forums are really something. I never really even thought about it. I never even knew what an online forum was. We're so used to when you think of social media, you think of, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. Never thought of a forum. But then when I started doing the research and I drilled down, I thought, oh my God, there's so many people. I did the comic book thing. That's why I wanted to give you guys, walk you down the path. I thought, oh my gosh, these people that are on here, like they're serious. They really want to know and they want to share their expertise. And they were almost hungry for more information. And I thought, well, isn't that great? So I was like that when I wrote the magazine, right? When I did that comic book, or I go back to that because I'm still amazed that there were errors because I had no clue, just like I had no clue about these forums. So I want you all to think about it, right? And yeah, you're going to have some other, like, let's just say 5 of you on here want to go after comic books. Well, there's so much opportunity that it's just something I wanted you to think about. Think outside the box today. Think outside the box when you're looking at how you're going to build your business. So with that, I'm going to now ask Ben. I know Dave gave you 5 numbers, so I'd like Ben to give us the numbers of the 5 lucky winners today, and then I'll ask you to send your name to support@collectdirect.com, and they will get your special gift out to you. Ben, are you there?
I am. Hey, Terry. I'm pulling the numbers right now and getting the, all right. So our first winner is Evelyn Burns.
Evelyn Burns, congratulations.
And our second winner, and I apologize if I mispronounce your name, but John Schiavone.
Sounds pretty good.
Oh, good job, Ben.
And our third winner is Karen Jones.
Karen Jones, are you there? Perfect. Ben, who's number 4?
Our winner number 4 is TT.
Oh, TT, yay! See, it was worth getting up for today, TT.
Yeah, congratulations. And then our 5th winner is Pierre.
Pierre, congratulations. So again, the 5 of you, please send a message to support@collectdirect.com and just tell them that you're one of the winners for today. And Patrick, I saw your message about podcasts. I can certainly do the research on podcasts. So if anybody has any other areas of marketing or any training that you'd like me to go through on a Saturday, I'm happy to do the research for you. So just send a message to support and say, hey, can Terry do a training on podcasts, or just whatever ideas that you have. And I'm happy to spend a Saturday with you, giving you guys some tips to help you build your collectibles business. So with that, I want to thank you all for sharing a little bit of your Saturday with us, and have a good day. And think about forums, because maybe you can build an awesome collectible business with a forum that's going to be easy for you to work with because it's all online. Have a great weekend, everybody. Take care.